Hi everyone, I'm coming on to respond to what I watched today. I watched a video by Christina Lopes, and she was talking about something that was pretty disheartening to her, and it's concerning a post that she made about Black Lives Matter. That was the title of it, and the responses she got back, and her stance on this, where she was coming from, was very uplifting. And I think it's important for us to be talking about things that are put on our hearts. Like I speak about the modern day form of human trafficking of our families. I have a torch in my hand. I am the light shining in this darkness on this issue with many, many others. And but I have information and experience on issues concerning like racism and the conquering and dividing, and kind of just what's been going on in the lives of people who have been enslaved on many different levels. So I just want to talk about this a little bit because I think it's important, and I think that each time that we are put into some type of experience and interactions, relationships with others, that we can use that later on to help others and to support others and to uplift others. So stay tuned, and I will be back for more. This is one of those topics that can bring up different types of emotions and thoughts within us, and triggers that just stir all of this up within us, and cause some type of reaction within us when we are vibrating at a lower energy. And when we start to rise up and become conscious, we realize that we have to look at the darkness, and we have to shine our lights and face this darkness, not only within us, which is the first step, but to go towards every corner of this planet with our torches lit and be able to shine on that darkness. There's been a lot of darkness that's been hiding, and I've spoken a lot about the modern day form of human trafficking of our families, this for-profit private business that is going on, and the harm and the pain and the suffering that is being inflicted upon so many. And there's just a unawareness of what's going on and how the so-called courts are operating and so-called justice system. So I think this is very important because knowledge is power, and we need to be empowered at this time on many levels. Now, when Christina was talking about slavery and what has happened to so-called blacks, there's a lot going on and surfacing at this time, and she talked about kind of a movement in the spiritual community. So the term that Christina used was fairy dust spirituality. And basically what this means is that you go inside and do the healing work that is needed, and you focus on the divine love and light that you are, that we all are. But yet there is a different type of action that is being done, to where you're not going out with your light, shining a torch into the darkness in order to just integrate the darkness that needs to be transmuted. I think we all are here with various missions and assignments, and that we are here, and there's no right path or one way to do everything. I think that we have a calling of our heart, and we need to be true to ourselves, to be authentic, and we need to get out in nature and connect with the intelligence that is giving us all life in order to really know what we are here to do at this time, because we all have a purpose greater than what we've been led to believe. when it comes to different issues that are going on around this planet and the darkness that is surfacing, such as racism and what has happened throughout history, there is much karmic cycles that are in need of healing at this time that affect us personally, as well as our families and generations that have, been in the past and that are to come. It is very important for us to face what is coming up at this time with compassion and love. And I think that there is a lot that people don't really know, and so raising awareness is important. And if it's been put on your heart to talk about these issues, then don't be afraid. Speak your truth and come together in unity in order to support people. And I think that that's where the healing is going to lie, is when we do the work internally and we integrate the darkness that is within us, and then we are able to take the action steps to go out and transmute what we see, integrate the darkness by shining our light where we are being called to shine it. And so one of the things I want to bring up is that I learned a lot from so-called blacks when I was questioning the scriptures and my old belief systems and religions and stuff like that. And they have been really searching for their history and knowing who they are and just questioning things. And there is a lot of healing that has been occurring, but on a grand scale, on the collective, right now is the time during this great awakening that very dark things are coming to light. And I learned about the Willie Lynch letter and the conquering and dividing techniques that were used and continue to be used between like house slaves and the field slaves. I learned about, I'm going to show a picture here of a mom reaching out saying, and it says basically that this is not the first time that children have been taken from their moms and dads, because when the so-called blacks were in slavery, the slave owners were taking their children when they were working, and they were using them as alligator bait and torturing them and murdering them, and then using the alligators in order to make a profit. And there is much remedy that needs to occur, much healing that needs to take place. Today, I don't use the term picnic because that is a derogatory, term used for so-called blacks, because it had to do with when they would go lynch the so-called blacks when they, after Sunday church. And so I use the term lunch out with my own little ones because I learned about this. I think that we need to be aware of, the origin of what's happened. I don't think that we need to be fueling the fire in any way, but we need to know what has been occurring and be compassionate, and knowledge is power. And so there's been a lot going on, and this has to do, we can really relate to this when it comes to the modern day form of human trafficking. We see the karmic cycles continuing on, and there is a tearing away of families. There is a breakdown of, just the fundamental rights that we have, and this kidnapping of our little ones and our elderly. This is not the first time. And so we need to truly be doing our own healing work, and then I believe following the calling of our hearts. And so let's speak about these things, and let's do it in such a way that we are helping and we are shifting the collective that is being bound by what needs to be healed. So this can be done on various levels, and it starts at home. It starts with looking in the mirror and within our own families, within our own communities, and then on the grander scale in the collectives that are right now experiencing a lot of this surfacing of the darkness. I love you guys. We are all truly in this together, but we have all had different experiences that, require different types of focus and action. And really, it comes from all of us moving from an open heart and being authentic. And if we are triggered by something, then we need to be going inside and seeing where that's coming from and heal within, integrate the darkness, and then be able to surrender that to the intelligence that is giving us all life, and then to move forward. That is where healing comes from, is truly being authentic and standing on our power. We are powerful to shift the consciousness or the unconsciousness that is, all around us through our consciousness, through our pure awareness. So I love you guys. I hope this helps you out. We're going to see a lot of things happening. And so it's up to each of us to make choices to be true and to face these things without hiding. And the light is much stronger, and divine love is going to help to heal what needs to be healed. And so don't resist. Resistance really pushes things away, and it does fuel the fire. Embrace, surrender, and walk in your truth. Together, we are going to be able to see what we have been wanting in this world, being the change we want to see. Unity consciousness, we are one. I love you guys. Namaste.